contact our viewers hotline. Draw ni felly yn fyw I faes y sioe.
Rhwng porth y môr a chwm y garn, mae hen hafotau a hendrefin britho'r tir. Yn byw drwy hirlwm mawrth a medi clen, a rhoi I faeth y ddeiar oriau hir. O'r wyddfa I chriw, at glofiau cynnes Llun, mae lle I enaid. O gonwy yn ei lli, hyd grib y blewyn cringoch. Diwyd yw dyn ei deulu. Gwella a weldar, tractor a chi. Eryri sydd eleni'n graig a gro yn galw am bentymor, rhoi gwerth ar hoe, cynnal gwyl y sgwrsio, gan bwytho bro a bro yn gwilt o wlad ar faes y sioe. O gorlan y carneddau hyd uwch mynydd, cariwn y croeso a ddaw o'r pridd ar gynydd.
O gorlan y carneddau I gorlan y genedl yr wythnos hon yma yn Llanelwedd ar lan yr afon gwy. Ie, bore da, croeso cynnes iawn I chi. Da ni gyd yn barod am sioe 2025. Sioe Sir Gaernarfon ydy hon, dyna'r sir nawdd, ac mi roedd pobl Sir Gaernarfon I stamp ar y maes yma neithiwr yn moliant y maes yn y sied gneifio, a canu yn codi'r to. Ac un o uchafbwyntio'r noson yn ddios oedd y perfformiad cynta un o'r gân Dal dy dir, a hynny gan gor y sir nawdd dan arweiniad Elin Angharad Davies.
Yes, last night's service in the sheep shearing shed was very well attended, and the people of Carnarvonshire all showed their appreciation following the choir's powerful rendition of Dal dy dir, or Stand Your Ground. Well, it was a very busy day here yesterday with all the preparations underway, but of course, today is officially the first day of this year's Royal Welsh Show, and we will be with you live until 5 p.m. every day, Monday to Thursday. Now then, whilst Nia is introducing the familiar faces of the on-screen presenters, let's hear from our familiar voices in the English language commentary box. I'm joined by Emma Thomas, Gerald Lewis, Iwan Thomas and Anwen Harf Griffiths. And of course, this is the highlight of the agricultural calendar and a celebration at the very heart of the nation, showcasing the best of Welsh farming, innovation and tradition. But we have to mention the restrictions due to the blue tongue disease. It has had an impact on the planning of the event and, Gerald, on the exhibitors from over the border as well.
Yes, unfortunately, we were yet to see, but looking at the catalogue numbers are down by a little bit, but hopefully, and what I've been told is a lot of our Welsh exhibitors have really come out in force to support the show, so I hope that the numbers of class, and I'm quite confident that the quality will not diminish in any form or fashion, but it is an unfortunate rule that has crept upon us, and unfortunately we have to adhere to it.
And of course, Emma, as the Chief Executive, Rhys Aled-Jones, has said previously, having these restrictions, it's been a very hard decision to make, but then again, it's been the responsible decision as well.
Oh, absolutely. There's a duty of care to all the exhibitors and the animals involved, and it was just something that we had to adhere to, really, and I'm sure it won't impair on the enjoyment of the show at all, and we will still have an absolutely fantastic show of sheep and cattle here. Of course, it hasn't affected the horses and the pigs, but yes, the show will go on, as they say, and we've had, these little things in the past before, and hopefully it's only something that'll be here for a short while, and things will return to normal in future.
And you want just to explain to people who are listening, who maybe aren't aware of the situation, but the entries have not been accepted from not only exhibitors located within a restricted area, but to those who have to travel through a restricted area as well. Am I right?
Certainly, Gareth, yeah. So that's been the case, and that's what sort of put the Scottish exhibitors at a disadvantage in terms of coming here. But what we will benefit from is that ability to see the very, very best of Welsh cattle and sheep on show here, and we look forward to an exceptional quality show, really, of that Welsh produce. Really.
Yeah, and that's been good to see and good to hear. Of course, as Emma mentioned, and when blue tongue does not affect the horses, so what are the highlights and what are you looking forward to seeing during the course of this week?
Well, personally, I'm looking forward to actually being in that main ring myself. So you may see me later on, but I'm just looking forward to seeing everything. I love horses, all different types of horses, in-hands, riddens and everything. So I'm just looking forward to the whole week ahead. Yes, there is an exciting week ahead. And of course, you don't have to be present here at the Showground to enjoy everything, because we will be showing the very best of what the show has to offer here on S4C. You can view on S4C Click. It's all live, by the way, between the hours of 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock on the main television channel. There's a webcast from the horse ring from 8 o'clock in the morning, and there is also English language commentary available. Language commentary available on this programme and our main ring webcast. And we're also offering live subtitles throughout the day. Now then, if you're watching on Sky Plus, Freeview or Virgin Media, then press the red button. TiVo Box or Sky Q Box viewers go into settings and use the audio selection option. If you're experiencing any problems whatsoever, then please contact S4C's viewers hotline. They are there to help you. Well, as you can see, there are quite a few people at the Showground here at Llanelwedd already. And of course, what we want to know is what the weather has in store. This is Alex Humphreys with the forecast, not only for the Llanelwedd area, but for Wales in general as well. There's as you can see, a few clouds surrounding Wales there, creeping in from the west. And the rain is going to come in quite heavy, actually, into the southeast. And there is a yellow weather warning for later on this afternoon in the northeast. There will be a few showers around the Llanelwedd area, and as you can see, the highest temperature will be in the Monmouth area in the southeast, and that will be about 22 degrees Celsius. Tonight, it's still going to be cloudy. There's going to be some rain in the southwest, moving gradually into the north as well.
temperatures around 13 to 15 degrees centigrade. A few showers tomorrow in the Llanelwedd area. They will clear during the afternoon, and temperatures will be around 18, 19, 20, 21 degrees centigrade as well. So it's going to be relatively warm, and you might catch a few showers if you were to visit the showground today or tomorrow. But we're going to start in the horse ring. So let's hear once again from Anwen.
What a spectacle at this time of the morning, seeing all of those north end of the main ring. So what we've got in front of us is the section C's under saddle, 4-year-old and over, and they are currently doing their go-round. So this is what we call where everybody gets a chance to have a walk, trot and canter, and of course that famous gallop in front of the grandstand, for the judge to get an initial look at them and see how they are going to perform and see what they like to start with. So we had quite a lot of entries. I believe there were 49 entered in this. And as you can see, a lot of them have come forward. I think the break in the weather has helped a lot of them. Last week would have been far too hot. But it's fabulous to see so many. Yes, I was right. So 58 were entered, but 49 have come forward. So the judges that we've got actually doing the section C's this morning, there we are, lovely shot of them there. Doing the confirmation is Mr. John James of the Shanwood Stud, and doing the ride is Sophia Chambers. So now John, a local man really, born and bred in Llandyfri, and has been breeding section B's for many years. And his two children, Philippa and David, are both involved in the racing industry. And John has got many years of experience with his judging, and I think he's actually judged in 14 different countries. So there we are now. You saw them all change the reins, so the judge gets a chance to see them now on the other side before they will things. And some of you clever ones will see the steward there motioning. So hopefully now we'll all get a chance to see some of this famous gallop in front of this grandstand, where a lot of these competitors is what they look forward to. So having a good look and seeing what they fancy and what they don't. So Sophia Chambers there, she was brought up in Welsh, but recently moved to Chepstow with her fiancé, so another local girl. And horses have been a big part of Sophia's upbringing. Very early on, she was a jockey, and by the age of 10, she was competing for what we call the Birds Welsh dressage team. So the young riders for the dressage, and she used to have a little section B that she used to do this ponies on. So there we can just see at the bottom of our screen the famous gallop, where most of the exhibitors are thoroughly enjoying it. And the big smiles on their faces there, Amber, having a good gallop and absolutely chuffed to bits. Here we see Laura Landon having a gallop on her little mare, who's had a very successful season so far, from the Lynxbury stud. And 1482 there, we see another competitor. That was Hannah and Sarah Turnogley's Menai George, who has had a successful season. So I hope now that we will get to see who their judges will choose to set first, whether we'll get to see the initial pull-in or not. It looks like they've all done their gallop now. So but that's quite a lot, quite a spectacle, and the judges to see first thing in the morning. But I think we'll come back to this class later on in the morning.
Yn tanio'r cystadlu ni.
Welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showground here at Llanelwedd, day one of this year's Royal Welsh Show. And of course, we will be with you until 5 o'clock this afternoon. We're heading for the first time to the sheep ring, so we'll join Emma and Gerald.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Yes, it's lovely to be back with the sheep once again this year. And we're going to be joining a class of, I believe, Dutch spotted sheep here this morning. So a breed that's really come up in popularity, Gerald, from starting here only a few years ago with a few entries in the breed section. They've got now got their own classes and out in force as well with 10 entries in this class of yearling rams.
Yes, it is a breed that has developed and especially in the show ring.
Yes.
They are a very attractive sheep, and as we can see, different types and variations and coloured schemes and whatever, but they are attractive and a good conformation sheep.
Yes, I was about to say that. They're very eye-catching in their colouring, but also a very useful sheep as well. They've got quite a bit of shape underneath that coat there, and we're just...
Yes, it's to coin the phrase, and the colour of the wool and that, it would have been put off many years ago because of the white wool would have been, but as the wool trade is not quite what it is, the wool now has no significant value.
No,
so a lot of people have gone to the different breeds, obviously, but they are a dual-purpose sheep.
Yeah.
Quite a large sheep.
Yes.
And will produce quite large commercial fat lambs.
And a good-shaped carcass as well then. But like you say, a lot of people, they like something a little bit different, don't they? And as well for the showmen as well, they a bit of interest.
They're a very good breed in terms of they're fine bone for a big animal. And obviously we can't market the bone, can we? It's the meat on the carcasses there. But they are very fine bone. They're finer boned than, say, their cousins in the Texel world and the Charlery world and the Suffolk world. Yeah. They're quite fine bone, so they're easy lambing animal. And quite an attractive and a strong sheep.
Yeah. So the judge there, Mr. Del Amson, who's travelled down from Cheshire today.
It's a good class here, to be fair, then, to start off. The yearling ram of, as you stated, 10 entries.
Yeah. So, hugely popular. They're very popular in the sales. They've got a bit of work to do there from Mr. Anson, so we'll come back later on. Hopefully he'll have made a decision.
Well done, yeah.
Mae app y sioe ar gael unwaith eto eleni o Google Play neu'r App Store. Cyfarwyddiadau teithio.
Don't forget you can visit our website s4c.cymru/show and all the information you need as far as watching the show is included on that website. So Aaron, as you can see, has ventured to the young farmers area, and of course it's going to be a very busy week in this particular area during the course of the show. There's several different events going on, and there'll be, well, as you can see, there's plenty of room there for people to sit and watch what's going on in that stage in the background. And Dewi Davis is the chairman of the Welsh Young Farmers Federation, and they're about 3/4 of the way through the year, and obviously here at the show we're here to show the best of what the young farmers have to offer and what the Federation is all about. There's plenty of opportunities for the members to compete and take part in the activities here at the Royal Welsh. And every year the chairman chooses a charity, and at the end of August we've got a sponsored walk, and there's plenty going on to raise money, of course, for a very good cause. And the walk is doing in August, is from Pumlimon all the way down to Aberystwyth. So he'll be making sure he's collecting plenty of sponsors during the course of the week. And Aaron is just referring to this object, this cube, and it's quite a surprise. And Dewi is not going to reveal what's hidden in the cube. You'll have to come back later, but all will be revealed within half an hour. So I think Aaron's be staying here and we'll find out exactly what's hidden there in about half an hour's time.
Coffi go gris sydd angen ben bore. Dewi, diolch am y sgwrs. Pob lwc efo'r wythnos. A llongyfarchiadau.
Right, from the young farmers, let's go to the shearing shed and join Llun and Gerald.
Yes, first visit of a very busy week here in the shearing shed, a popular place for people to go and watch, and obviously a popular place for competitors. And we have, starting at, say, the bottom end of this is the junior wool handling course, and these young ladies, predominantly young ladies that we will see on go, are the people that keep the sheep shed ticking over by taking the fleeces off the shearer and then obviously presenting it and putting it into the packs ready to be taken away.
So this competition is based upon not the work of the shearer itself, but the wool handlers that we're zoning in on here now in terms of the quality with which that they roll up the fleece and keep that stand tidy for the shearer.
You're quite right, Ewan, because the worst thing is if you're actually a shearer and you get your neck sheep and you come out of the pen and you're stepping on the fleece or you're stepping on a lot of rubbish or whatever, and obviously if they get behind, well, it'll slow the process down of the actual shearing anyway. So these young ladies here then are at the start of their careers of wool rolling, and they will obviously do the world of good if they can win this, and then it will be promoted up the ranks just the same as in the shearing world.
And there's obviously three competitors forward here, Gerald, one on each of the odd-numbered stands here in the wool shed. On stand 1, Ella Sankey, stand 3, Rebecca Williams, stand 5, Caris Morgan, all representing Wales then in the shed here today.
Yes, indeed, and as we stated, they are junior wool rollers, and there's actually a little starting advantage for them, because if you're shearing in the wool shed, then every shearer will actually start at the same time. But here, then, they actually staggered the start of the shearing, and then say the 5 or 6 competitors will shear 3 sheep, one will shear 2 and one will shear 1. So the actual first competitor will start off and shear that sheep, so it gives that person, the junior wool handler, an advantage to start with that one, and then so they don't finish all exactly the same time. So it's as they progress through the ranks of wool rolling, then the competition will get hotter and get tougher then. So we'll have to come back in a little while to see what actually happens and see who is the victor out of this class.
I ni merw y beirniadu ar hyn o bryd yn rhan ogleddol y prif gylch, achos dyna le mae'n sylw am llyged. Yr ail hyfforddi y ceffylau rasio, a hynny i'r cysig a'r adferch dros 4 blwyddod.
Thanks, Gerald. Thanks, Ewan. We will be back in the sheep shearing shed on more than one occasion during the course of the week. The shearers later on in the week, of course, but in the meantime, let's rejoin Anwen. We're back in the horse ring.
So this time we've moved to the other end of the horse ring, where we are watching the retrained racehorses. So this is a class that was introduced many years ago, well, a series actually, and it was originally started by South West Insurance Brokers. It basically was helped to find a new purpose for a lot of these racehorses, to find a new purpose in life, because a lot of them don't last very long on the racetrack. So the thoroughbred industry started a retraining and rehoming, and hence the start of this ROR series. So what we're seeing now is our open flat classes. Down in the other ring within the Royal Welsh, there are a couple of challenge classes where they go over fences. But today now we have got this flat class, and our judges are Jonathan Geek, who is doing the confirmation, and they're doing the ride. You can see him there is Mr. Robert Bellamy. Now, Mr. Bellamy is actually a TV racing commentator and clerk of course at several racecourses, and is originally from Herefordshire, Ross-on-Wye, and has been brought up with a farming background and attended Pony Club and the hunts of the South Herefordshire and Ledbury as soon as he could walk. So many years of experience, and they're given a wonderful pat at the end of a nice ride for this particular horse. So there were 18 entries in this particular class, and 10 of them have come forward, so a wonderful opportunity for them. And as you can see there, this young horse has actually got no eye, and it was removed fairly recently after the owner had purchased him, and he seems to be very successful with just the one eye. So just goes to show that you don't actually need, you can sustain without an thing. So some of these horses, because they've come off the racetrack, the judges will give a little bit of leeway on a blemish or two. But the loss of an eye is something that can't be helped, and he's there now, off on his little walk to have a chat with the steward and advise them how he won 2-5-6-2. That was Victoria Bertorelli's and Cathwa. And here he comes now, off to his second ride of the day. So we shall see hopefully of the exhibitor number here coming up. Lovely job of the leg up steward there, legging the judge up, 2579. This one is Jane and Martin Wanless's Cracking Find. So you can see they're a little bit wound up with the ride judge just sitting on. But again, the judge will take that into consideration because this is a former racehorse. So he's giving him a nice pat there, helping him to settle, giving him every opportunity. And that's what this ride judge is all about, giving them the time and the effort. But we'll give a little chat about Jonathan now, who's doing the confirmation, which we haven't seen yet. But he's also from a national hunt background and has done a lot of both flat and jumping horses. There we are, missed a nice shot of Jonathan there. So he's produced both show horses and many sort of ponies all over the years. So he's an ideal candidate for actually doing this class. So the Geek family, they used to produce a horse called Beware Chalk Pit, and he rode, he was the champion racehorse to riding horse in the final at Horse of the Year show many years ago, and he won Burley twice. So some of you avid racehorse followers would know the importance of Horse of the Year show and Burley. So I'm hoping that Jonathan will have a wonderful morning, and there he is out showing his nice little touch to each horse. So he's there just looking now at the limbs and the straightness and the conformation and the are they moving freely or not. So the little crossover there of both the conformation and the ride judge having a little flick around. So I think we will come back to see the completion of this class later on in the morning.
Welcome back to the showground here at Llanelwedd, day one of this year's Royal Welsh Show, and it's our first visit to the cattle ring, so let's join Gerald and Llun.
Yes, welcome to the cattle ring for the first time in the 2025 Royal Welsh Show, and good start then, Llun, and starting with a native breed here of Wales, our Welsh Blacks.
Yes, and brilliant to see the Welsh Blacks first thing here on Monday morning at the Royal Welsh Show, and we're joining the class for the bull born on or before the 31st of December 2023.
See the future of the breed, aren't they, realistically then? The junior bulls, or young bulls we should say then, and there is...
senior bulls.
Senior bulls, yes. Is it? Indeed. That's so naive I am looking at my Welsh Black breeding, but no, they are actually then
yes, so,
strong bulls, the foundation bulls of the Welsh Black.
Yes, these Welsh Black bulls will already have been having an impact on their respective herds. Hopefully leaving their stamp on both the male and female lines within those herds for their respective owners.
Strong animals and Llun, to be fair.
Yes, you see the qualities that the Welsh Black breed brings in terms of that length of body that these bulls have got, and five bulls forward here representing our native Welsh breed here this morning.
Job for these stockmen, you can see that the Welsh Black are bred to survive under the harsh conditions on the hills, and the coat is a significant factor of the Welsh Black breed, and a lot of hair. It's a job for them to maintain and keep that hair on these animals here for a summer show, isn't it? Whereas in the winter show it would be damn sight easier, wouldn't it?
It certainly is, Gerald. It's one of those signs of the hardiness of the breed, isn't it? That sort of volume of coat and hair that they've got, and as we all know, the nature of stock, especially in this recent hot weather, would be that they would try and shed their coat, isn't it?
That's quite right.
Throughout
the
summer.
So it is done very, very well for the stockmen to keep their coat. Coat is obviously useful for a stockman and a showman then. They do trim a little bit, and maybe they say hide a fault or two. So, but that's all tricks of the trade, isn't it?
Yes, certainly
I'm sure
is that.
Our judge is not going to be fooled by that. And
yes, certainly our judge today, Mr. Glyn Cemblin-Williams from Tyddyn Deicws in Denbighshire. And yeah, he'll obviously, as you say, not be fooled by it, but it is always that little that bit of coat that, as you say, gives you that first impression if a very good stockman has managed to hide or extenuate either strengths or weaknesses of each of their animals. It is the first impression that you're trying to sit in the judge's brain. All these judges would generally know their way around getting past all that to place their animals.
Yes, indeed, and as customary in cattle judging then, Mr. Williams here will ask these animals to walk around, and he'll make a visual assessment of every individual animal as they are walking round, and then he will then probably ask them to line up, maybe in his future lineup or his made-up mind lineup, but he will then examine animals hands-on, as you might say, and he will be feeling every animal then for these faults, as I say, maybe, but confirmation and would be paramount in his mind, and as I stated, walking around, you will see the locomotion of the animal.
Yes, and especially a native breed like this that, as you say, Gerald, is used to living in the uplands and surviving in the harsher sorts of climates. Locomotion would be a very, very important trait for them, and that'll be something he will have assessed as he's going around. It doesn't look like we're going to come to the conclusion of the class during this one. He's just drawn in this top three, but we hopefully join again for the result later.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Llun and Gerald. And We move from the cattle ring to the food hall, which, by the way, is well worth a visit if you're coming here to the showground. There's about 60 different stalls there. There are some experienced companies there who've been here in the Royal Welsh many times, and Nia is now heading for the Cowine stall. And Cowine is a food and drink Wales programme, and the programme offers high quality support to food and drink producers from startups to micro, small and medium-sized businesses. Nia's joined by Lewis McNitt from Cowine, and she's just explaining about the different companies that will be visiting the food hall here at the Royal Welsh this week. And Cowine assists them to start in their marketing so that they get a chance to market their new products. They help them to set up the companies and help them with all the paperwork, etc. And it's an opportunity for them all to come here to show their product. And he's just asking Llun there, what does it feel like to be here at the Royal Welsh with your produce, your cider, your Pisgah cider? And this is a big step for us as a company. It's quite different to what we're used to. What are you hoping to learn? What experiences are you hoping to get from coming to the Royal Welsh? We do go to a lot of the small shows, but we're hoping here now that we can push the produce and that we can sell more of it. We started about 4 years ago, just before COVID, and it worked quite well at the time, selling obviously a few boxes of cider to start with, and increasing the amount that they were producing, hence the reason they are here at the Royal Welsh by now. There's 6 of them in the company, and I think that Llun was referring to the fact that the 6 of them can be seen in that picture in the background. But they're working in shifts. There's only 2 here today, but the other members will be here later in the week. Right, come on, Llun, sell us your produce now. There's 3 different types of cider. There's the dry cider, just with apples. Then we've got a sparkling cider. There's a bit of sugar in that one. Because we did the sparkling one, the younger people wanted something was sweeter. So we therefore developed this sweeter cider, which we found to be the best seller so far. Well, he's just explaining that they started the company by the halfway pub in Pisgah, and he's just asking, for those who don't know where Pisgah is, put us in the picture. It's between Aberystwyth and Devil's Bridge, and well, the halfway is the name of the pub in Pisgah. So Pisgah is halfway between Devil's Bridge and Aberystwyth, and that's where we are based.
Yeah. Bydd o'r enw'n rhwydd?
Do. Llun. Yeah.
Dystyniad di yno?
Yeah.
And he's just referring to the name of the cider. It was Llun's idea to name the company Pisgah Cider. And Nia's just wishing them all the best and hoping that people will be visiting this stall during the course of the day today. Right, from Pisgah Cider in the food hall, let's head back to the sheep ring and we'll rejoin Emma and Gerald.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're back with the Dutch spotted sheep then, the yearling ram class, and it does look like our judge Gerald has had a bit of a walk around and got a bit of a line. Has the lineup changed, or are they going back in? No, we can see some cards in the background, so he must have be getting closer to a decision.
Yes, indeed, and which does throw us, and a lot of judges have a slight variation on their selection of their winners, and some judges will start left to right and others right to left. So as sitting here, we can't quite fathom out at the moment which is the best, because they're all exceptionally good sheep. But I don't think we'll have too long to wait to find out where he does actually give the result. We've now got a good camera angle here, Em, so the business end is the back end of these continental sheep, and all continental breeds are renowned for their excessive muscling and...
Well, we were talking earlier about the conformation that this breed possesses, and that's what we mean is the shape, the muscling of the animal. And of course, the back end then is the business end, as you call it, Gerald, because that's where the best and most expensive cuts of meat come from. And there we go. As the judge there just examining over the sheep, he will feel under that wool, because these exhibitors will try their best to hide any imperfections with a good bit of brushing and clipping, won't they?
Leave no stone unturned.
Absolutely. But any judge worth his salt will be able to assess under that fleece and see what's underneath. And I reckon this must be our top 3 then, Gerald.
Yes, you could be right.
I do believe that it's the Wilsons that are in first and second, and Louise Nash there in third, being shown by her husband Tom.
Our judge, Mr. Del Amson from Cheshire.
And indeed, there he is, giving the red card to Mr. Wilson. And I think they take second as well then.
He stated that he will be looking for a sheep with style and character, good skin and lots of potential, and good legs. And it looks as if he's backed up his statement in a very nice, good sheep. Will your minor talking to the winner?
These are quite important to you, but the missus as well.
Yeah, you probably better speak to her, really.
She's the boss, is she?
She's the boss, yeah.
But you beat her today.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of that then? Him having the first and you in second place?
I'll let him have that one.
It's teamwork, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is. No, he did quite a good job there, didn't he?
But you do a lot for the society, on social media and things like that. It's quite important for the breed, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll try to push them out there so people can see what they're capable of.
Because they're a new breed, but they're doing really well.
Yeah, they're doing really well, and people are starting to use them now in the commercial flocks and seeing what they can do. They can turn out lambs quite quick, so hopefully the more they're seeing, the more they'll take hold. That's the plan.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank
well
you.
Done, you. And he beat you today.
Yeah.
Well, that's all from the sheep ring for the time being. We will be back, of course, but let's take a hop, skip and a jump, and we find ourselves in the cattle ring. It's back to Llun and Gerald.
Yes, we're back with hopefully the conclusion of the Welsh Black Senior Bull class here, Llun, and as we did leave it just a little while ago, it was 3007 was at the top end of the class then, and maybe the judges decided this is the winner.
Yes, certainly, and he does look a striking sort of bull, stood at the top there from Ken Ellis and Sons, a Briscaga. So well-known breeders within the Welsh Black breed and community, and a lot of success here in the past. And he's a 2022 born bull, so just over his 3-year-old, and a bull that's just really getting going probably right now, and leaving a stamp hopefully on the herd for them there.
Yes, indeed. In terms of, we will feature right throughout the show, we're going to see bulls of the same age of the continental breed will be much larger and much bigger than these. But the Welsh breed is slow maturing, which is not a bad thing because of maturing in terms of quality of meat that they will produce. And as I stated, then probably for his age, if you put him up against a 3-year-old continental bull, he'd be a lot smaller.
And certainly, and that is it. And yeah, they take the red rosette there and in the class, and that's probably the biggest difference, isn't it, between the continental breeds and the native breeds, is that slower maturity and that ability to get finished and grown off forage, grazed forage especially, over sometimes more concentrate feed, isn't it?
Yes, indeed it is. So horses for courses, you might say, and these animals are, like I say, are bred to survive on, say, the harsher grasslands and hills of the Wales here. So
Welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showground at Llanelwedd, day one of this year's show, of course, and we're going to be with you here on S4C until 5 o'clock this afternoon. Right, we haven't been to the pig ring yet. Let's head over there now and we'll join Gerald and Emma.
Thank you very much. Yes, our first visit to the pig ring this year, and we are joining the Welsh pigs for the first time. Always a mainstay here at the Royal Welsh Show, the Welsh pigs and also the winter fair as well. And fantastic to see a fantastic turnout in the ring with the gilt spawn between the 1st of July 24 and the 31st of December 24.
Yes, and the pigs will be delighted, I'm sure, as their owners will be as well, that the climatic conditions are very, very good for showing the pigs them. And as you can see, there's lovely grass that they're running around on. And the
yes, pigs don't like the heat. A pig can't sweat, which is why they will wallow in mud. And of course, no exhibitor wants their pig to be covered in mud out in the ring, and they can get quite grumpy if they get too hot.
Yes, as I said, there's good conditions for them there, and these lively sows or lively gilts then are running round, and our judge is struggling a little bit to keep up, and it's Mr. Schofield from North Orsby in Lincolnshire, so he has travelled quite a distance to judge the pigs here at the Royal Welsh Show. And like you stated, we're very lucky to feature some very good quality pigs.
Absolutely.
Hence in the Royal Welsh Show here, and also in the winter fair, and a lot of the familiar competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. And the judge then keeps large white pigs himself, as well as Belstecs and Suffolk sheep, but judging the Welsh here today. A lot of the things he'll be looking for will be similar to all pigs, relevant to all pigs, but with the Welsh pig then, they've got those significant ears then, the sort of triangle shape that does lop a little bit. With the pedigree breeds, they would like a minimum of 14 teats on the underline and an even number of teats on each side. So you won't want to have 15 with a 7 and an 8. 16 would be acceptable, 14 as a minimum then. So
with these
so a bit of work left to do in this large class then, so hopefully we'll be back for a result later on.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Gerald. Well, it's been a short while since we've been in the main ring, so let's return there now and we'll rejoin Anwen.
And it looks like we have rejoined at the most pivotal point in the class. So the Retrained Racehorses has announced a winner. And we can see there that the rosette is going to exhibitor 2575, Jeanette State, with Fado de Bros. Now, I think I pronounced that properly. So he was bred by Michael Lucco and handled and ridden today by Jeanette herself. Sired by Balco out of Nanu de Bros. So a foreign-bred horse, but a wonderful stamp of a hunter and a very well-retrained racehorse there. And the judge, Mr. Jonathan Geek, giving the rosette and having a lovely conversation with her. We can see just out of the corner of our picture there in second was 2579, and that was Jane and Martin Wanless's Cracking Find. A slightly lighter type of horse, wearing a different bridle. The winner there in a plain hunter bridle, and the one in second with a coloured brow band, so a different lighter type, but wonderful there. So the rider of that horse is Alice Pembley, and the horse was sired by Robin de Perth out of Crack the Kicker. And then just out of shot there we can see in third was the horse that we saw earlier with one eye. That was exhibit 2562, and that was Victoria Bertorelli's Anne Cathwar, ridden today by Victoria herself, sired by Turtle Island out of Money for Buttons. So 3 fantastic horses placed in the top 10 out of a wonderful class of 10 entries forward. So I think they've had the best time of the morning, not too hot, with a lovely sunshine, but a fantastic shot there of all 3 of them. 3 completely different types of horses. And our lovely stewards doing a wonderful job there for the exhibitors' cards. So I think our judges, Jonathan and Robert, have had a wonderful morning, and I just hope that they have chosen a worthy winner and that they actually didn't argue over it. So we will there we are, the right judge there congratulating the winner as well, Mr. Robert Bellamy.
Excuse my ignorance, and Anwen, all these horses now that are winners of these respective classes that are coming forward now, they will go and have a chance to be overall horse champion at the end of the show, or how is it actually whittled down to seeing the final horses in the final?
Jeanette, now that's won this class, she will be able to represent on Thursday afternoon for the Supreme. So it's up to her if
so it'll be under the ridden category then, yeah.
In the ridden category on the Thursday afternoon. So it'll be up to her if she chooses to come back on the Thursday afternoon. But big smile on Jeanette's face there. Congratulations to everybody involved with Fado de Bro. And hopefully we will jump over and have a quick interview with Hannah.
Show 2025 here in the main ring. I can tell by your face this means a lot. How are you feeling up there?
Absolutely amazing, because it's only his 4th show. I've had him 2 years, and this is his first time he's been to a major show like this. So it's absolute. I threw him in the deep end, thinking, well, if we can stay on, it'd be a good thing. But
and you came right up the line, didn't you? You weren't initially pulled top.
3rd bottom. But that was because he went round and he was upset because of the Welsh ponies and everything else.
But he performed perfectly and came up to win the class.
Well, the judge said he'd give him a perfect ride and he was one he'd like to take home. So that's all I need, isn't it?
I think they're going to kick us out for the next class to come in. But thank you very much and many congratulations.
Great show. I've been here last year and been in the spring.
Congratulations to Jeanette there.
Brilliant. Llongyfarchiadau mawr I chi.
2025 Royal Welsh Show. In the feature year.
Yn ardal y cyngor ar hyn o bryd, mae cadeirydd y cyngor.
Well, from the main ring, we head over to the President's Pavilion in the council area, and we join the chair of council, Nicola Davis, as she welcomes many of the dignitaries who have come here to the visit the Royal Welsh, including the First Minister of Wales, the Right Honourable Eluned Morgan, and the Deputy First Minister, Mr Hugh Iranca Davis. And of course, later on, she will be introducing Dave Thomas, the renowned Welsh broadcaster, who will be opening the show officially.
Also present,
Mr David Chadwick, aelod seneddol lleol.
Well, the show is an important platform to promote the very best of agricultural industry, which we all hold so very dear. And it underlines its importance, not only economically, but also socially and culturally too. Mae'r sioe yma yn uchafbwynt ac yn wyliau blynyddol I ymieithwyr a phobl Cymru Gwlad. Ac mae'n
Davis just saying that the show is the highlight and an annual holiday and celebration for the agricultural industry here in Wales.
Anghofio'n broblemau a mwynhau fel rhywun sy'n gweithio ar y tir a gyda anifeiliaid, mi allaf chi sicrhau bod y reality I mi ac eraill o fyw mewn Wellingtons, talu biliau a chodi yn y bore bach yn bell iawn o ffrog binc a gyreithiau.
Nicola Davis just saying, as somebody who works in the agricultural industry, wearing Wellingtons and paying bills and getting up early in the morning is very, very different to wearing a pink frog and making the speech at the opening ceremony in the Royal Welsh. And of course, she also mentioned that the featured county this year is Carnarvonshire, and it's been a busy time for them, of course. And they have already had a successful campaign in raising awareness of the society and fundraising for capital investment. And they've been led by their president, Mr. John Owen, and his wife Marian. And Nicola Davis is paying tribute to the whole of the team Carnarvon, from the members of the advisory under the leadership of their chair, Mrs. Catherine Ellis, Secretary, Miss Bethan Williams, and Treasurer Iolo Davis. And of course, we must thank our Ambassador, Mr. Rhys Eifion Griffith, for his hard work and commitment to the role and his project in establishing the Shire Horse Village for his year in office as the Ambassador, as I said. Every featured county has a unique relationship with the Royal Welsh Society, and we're better than in the opening ceremony to listen to the official welcoming poem from the former Archdruid, Myrddin ap Dafydd, who is a renowned Welsh poet.
O'r wyddfa i chryw at gloddiau cynnes Llun, mae lle i
And in the welcoming poem, he mentions many locations in Carnarvonshire, of course, including Snowdon, the Llun Peninsula, Conway,
yn galw am ben tymor, rhoi gwerth ar hoi, cynnal gwyl y sgwrsio, gan bwytho bro a bro yn gwilt, o wlad ar faes y sioe. O gorlan y carneddau, hyd i'wch mynydd, cariwn y croeso, a ddaw o'r pridd ar gynnydd. Da iawn, Sir Gaernarfon. Yn dilyn geiriau'r gerdd, hafwn felly wahodd ein llywydd i'r llwyfan. It now gives me great pleasure to welcome our President, Mr. John Owen, a familiar face and an advocate of farming and rural life, having also attended the show from being a very young boy. He tells me not that many years ago. But ladies and gentlemen, please give him a warm welcome to our President, Mr. John Owen, who will introduce the opening speaker.
Gai rwan gan lywydd y sir nawdd, John Owen.
Not so young, Nicola, because I have to go into this little box to begin with. So. Diolch yn fawr. Bore da pawb, a chroeso chi gyd yma, bore yma, I agoriad y sioe methyddol gorau'r byd. Mae yn fraint arbennig bod yn llywydd ar y sir nawdd 2025, Sir Gaernarfon.
And John Owen just saying that
welcome to the official opening
the Royal Welsh Show is the best agricultural show in the world, and he considers it a great honour to be this year's president.
Ers 1989, ac mae gennyf gofnod o'r teulu yn arddangos ers y 50au cynnar. Ac yn brif, a dwi wedi bod yn brif stiwad yn adran y llywydd yn y 12 mlynedd dwytha.
And John Owen just referring to the fact that he's
visited
the Showground on many occasions in the past, in several different capacities. And he has no doubt at all that, as he mentioned earlier, this is the best agricultural show in the world.
A'i gysylltiad yn mynd yn ôl I ddiwedd yr 80au. efo'r sioe yma. Ac mae o'i hun wedi dweud nad oes na anrhydedd uwch na bod yn llywydd ar Gymdeithas Amaethyddol Frenhinol Cymru. A mae'r wythnos yma yn gyfle iddo fo a'i gydweithwyr diwyd yn y sir i hyrwyddo sir Gaernarfon. Mae yna weithgaredd a lu wedi bod i godi arian at y Gymdeithas.
Mae'n bleser arbennig bore yma cyflwyno Mr Day Thomas.
And John Owen is introducing the guest speaker who will open the show officially. The renowned Welsh broadcaster, Day Thomas, the agricultural correspondent for Radio Cymru in BBC Wales. And he will shortly declare the show officially open.
Fy nhad, minnau a fy mab Dafydd. Magwyd Day yn Waenfawr, Sir Gaernarfon wrth gwrs, ac ar wahân I gyfnod yn gweithio i'r urdd yn Sir
was brought up in Waenfawr, just south of Caernarfon itself.
It is a great pleasure to introduce one of Carmarthenshire's treasures.
Dyna ddewis y llywydd John Owen. I agor y sioe eleni y darlledwr a'r newyddiadurwr, Day Thomas. Diwrnod mawr iddo fo yn agor y sioe yn swyddogol. Mae'n hen gyfarwydd ar maes yma yn Rhinwedd I Swydd ac yn llais Radio Cymru ar faterion amaeth a chefn gwlad.
A dwi'n cymryd yn ganiataol bod pawb sy'n bresennol yma'r bore yma ar fore cynta'r sioe fawr yn gyfaill nid yn unig I Gymdeithas Amaethyddol Cymru, trefnydd y sioe ryfeddol yma, ond hefyd I gefn gwlad ac I fyd amaeth Cymru. I ffordd y fyw y traddodiad I Gymdeithas war sy'n wedi byw yn y gornel hon yn Ynys Prydain. Welcome to you all as we meet like this annually on a Monday morning in July. Our world appears as if nothing ever changes. That everything is right with the world. Flags are flying above this wonderful location between the Radnorshire Hills. The forecast, as usual, is for 4 glorious days of competitions and exhibitions, trade. Didn't mention the weather. Trade and socialising. There is excitement in the air. And we start one of the main Welsh festivals. To most of you, it is the main Welsh festival. But as you and I will well know, we live in a time of change. Our industry, the countryside, and our way of life is facing several threats.
Ymlwyddyn Sir Gaernarfon I sir enedigol Sir Gaernarfon. Day Thomas sydd yn agor y sioe eleni, a hynny ar wahoddiad y llywydd. Mae o wedi bod wrth galon amaethyddiaeth Cymru. A'i harwydd y cad i'r genedl ers dros 20 o flynyddoedd. Yn hen gyfarwydd y maes y sioe yma. Yn Rhinwedd I Swydd am flynyddoedd yn llais Radio Cymru ar faterion amaeth a chefn gwlad. Ac mae o'n siŵr o ddefnyddio'r cyfle yma I leisio llais y diwydiant amaeth yng Nghymru.
Fe gawson ni wres mawr y ddiweddar, mae'n ardaloedd heb weld glaw, mae rhai o'r cronfeydd yn isel, ond ar y llaw arall pan ddaw'r glaw, fe ddaw mewn stormydd nerthol gyda ryw rym aruthrol.
Thomas just referring to the fact that recently we've had very warm weather, there's some water shortage. And last week it was announced that the sustainable farming scheme was announced, and he was also referring to the fact that Hereford Anchor Davis is present here as well.
In mentioning the CFS scheme published last week, Welsh Government insisted that it's not a scheme for farmers only, but for the whole of Wales. A whole farm scheme, a whole Wales scheme. There isn't much in that statement to disagree with, as long as you bear in mind that farmers mostly own and farm the land and the farmers and the
Dei
keepers,
Thomas.
most of them doing their utmost
A'r araith
to
i
be as
agor y
sustainable
sioe
as possible
yn swyddogol ar
within the
wahoddiad
limits of
y
their
llywydd
finances.
John Owen.
After years of discussion and lobbying,
Un o'r cyflwynwyr cynta ar raglenni teledu byw o'r sioe frenhinol fel mae'n digwydd. Yn berson delfrydol i nodi dechrau yr hyn sy'n addo bod yn sioe goddiadwy unwaith eto fydda John Owen yn gynharach. Mae'n enw cyfarwydd ledled Cymru wedi adrodd a myfyrio ar y materion sydd wrth galon amaethyddiaeth Cymru.
Dim o gwbl am dynnu sylw at amgylchiadau'r diwydiant a'i berthynas â gwleidyddiaeth. Mae'n ddiwydiant hollbwysig. Beth bynnag mae ambell un yn ei feddwl ydy faint o werth sydd o fewn y GDP Cymraeg, mae yna fwy nag un ffordd o fesur pethau. Meddyliwch am gyflogaeth a diwylliant, cymdeithas ac iaith, a gofal am dirwedd y natur, heb sôn am gynhyrchu bwyd, meithon, pethau am fesuradwy, nes ydych chi wedi colli nhw. I've enjoyed a long and happy association with this show. It goes back to the first years of the 80s as a news reporter. A mae'n berthynas i ar sioe yn mynd yn ôl dros 20 mlynedd ac fe ddoes i yma gyntaf fel gohebydd i heddiw rhaglen dyddiol gyda'r BBC yr adeg honno. Ond dod cofiwch yn byr anwybodus. Ond mi gefais i groeso, cwelwyddais i dwi'n meddwl i adlewyrchu peth o fwrlwm y 4 diwrnod o leia fe ges i ddod nôl y flwyddyn wedyn. Ac yna'r S4C wedi dod i fodolaeth, dod yma efo Ruth Parry'n gyd gyflwynydd ar cynhyrchu dawnus Rhys Lewis i gyflwyno'r rhaglenni byw, rhywbeth nad oedd ddim wedi digwydd cynt. Yr ei byw cynt erioed o Llanelwedd.
Dai Thomas just referring to the fact that he was part of the presentation team when S4C first broadcast live from the Royal Welsh Show. And he is a renowned journalist here in Wales. A very familiar voice on Radio Cymru as the agricultural correspondent.
Ond heb y cymorth parod, fydda hynny ddim wedi bod yn bosib ac mae gen i ddyled anferth i unigolion fi mor hael i Cymwynas. Pobl yn aml tu ôl i'r llenni yn swyddogion polisi, yn undeba, edas, cyfarwyddwyr amaeth y bancia, swyddogion cyfathrebu a phrif swyddogion y gymdeithas yma ar sioe dros y blynyddoedd. Roedden nhw gyd yn hael i Cymwynas ac mae yna ddwsina gannoedd y ffermwyr y gorogi at i ffarm a'i calona yn aml i sôn am ei fferm, ei ffarmio, ei breuddwydion wrth gychwyn ar ryw gynllun neu ryw fenter newydd. Eb anghofio, croeso graig y ffarm yn y gegin. I remember with gratitude the help, advice, support I received in this industry as a journalist and as a presenter. I remember my old maths teacher when he caught me daydreaming once and looking out the window that I should go and work in one of the agricultural sectors. Chickens, I think he said. I did better. I wrote about it. I found it easier. Wedyn cofio cymeriadau'n ennill neu'n beirniadu. Na ddim anghofio Alun Price. Gwr arbennig iawn o Sir Frycheiniog yn mynd yn groes i farn y mwyafrif ym Mhencampwriaeth y Defaid ac yn gwabrio dafad ddu. Ac yn hidio'r un ffien i fod yn amhoblogaidd yn gwneud hynny. Iddo fo oedd y ddafad ora wedi cael ei gwobr yn un o sy'n Gynarfon yn noddi'r sioe lenni.
Some of the characters he came across during the many years that he's been here at the Royal Welsh Show.
Fe welson ni gip ohono fo ar gefn gwlad nos o'r blaen. A'r Rhys Siwyr sy'n eistedd man hyn ymlaen ni, yn llys genad y sir eleni, yn cynnal traddodiad i dad a'i daid. Un o filoedd.
He's just referring to the Royal Welsh, or this year's Royal Welsh Ambassador, Rhys Eifion Griffith, who has continued the tradition following in his father's footsteps.
Ac efo'r traddodiad, dyna ddod nôl at y sioe a'r pethau sy'n cyfri i ni, aelodau'r gymdeithas. Cofiwch gwrs ymdrech ac ymroddiad cenedlaethol bobl fe nghlwm â hi, a ddewisodd y llecyn yma i'w chartrefu hi, ac awnaeth y lle y fath ganolfan ardderchog i amaethyddiaeth Cymru a chefn gwlad. Ar wahân i'r arddangos a'r cystadlu, y trafod a'r gwleidydda, Un o'r elfennau pwysica'r digwyddiad wrth gwrs ydy cyfeillgarwch. Ac wrth sôn am gyfeillgarwch, cofio ffrindiau sydd efo ni, a roedden ni'n ei ail gyfarfod blwyddyn ar ôl blwyddyn.
Thomas
Ond cofio
referring
hefyd ffrindiau a
to
gollwyd.
the many friendships that
A ddiwch mi am wneud hynny.
he made or has made here at
Un
the
o
Royal
gollwyd yn y
Welsh.
flwyddyn aeth heibio, un o leisia'r sioe,
with us, and
Andrew
some
Jones, Cwman,
sadly
coeddwr cylch y
who
defaid.
are
Cochod
not.
am dan o fo, a sawl un arall. I preached and I've reminisced. I think I need to do one other thing. Dyna fi wedi pregethu, wedi hel atgofion. Diolch i John Owen y Llywydd am y gwahoddiad i agor y sioe, a dyma fi'n gwneud. Mae'n bleser ar mwyaf gen i gyhoeddi fod sioe fawr 2025 yn agor.
And there we are. Dai Thomas, the renowned Welsh broadcaster, has announced that the Royal Welsh Show 2025 is now officially open.
Y darlledwr a'r newyddiadurwr Dei Thomas yn pwysleisio'r
And that
traddodiad
concludes the opening ceremony
ar ran y Sir Nawdd, Sir Gaernarfon.
on behalf of the featured county, Carnarvonshire.
2025. Egwyl nesa, ond da chi.
We'll go to a quick break, but we'll be back shortly. Hello, welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showground at Llanelwedd, which has now been officially open. Let's return to the pig ring, and it's Llun and Emma.
Thank you, Gareth. Yes, looks like they've been very busy while we've been away for the official opening of the show. And the judge there, Mr. Schofield, has got a handful of cards, Llun.
Yes, and he's picked his winner, and it goes to 7113, Emily Paddock, with her Llun Glamorous 9.
And, she must have had the glamour to catch the judge's eye there. And here we go.
Certainly a striking gilt, isn't it?
Yeah, Harmer, Jane S. Harmer taking second place, and Dunn, Wake and Son taking the third. Tremendous class of gilts there, has to be said.
Yes, certainly is, and as we alluded to earlier, it's 1st of July 24 to the 31st of December 24, so these are only very, very young gilts.
And hopefully we'll see plenty more pigs with the rest of the show.
Right, let's move on, and we'll return quickly to the cattle ring. We'll stay with Llun, who's now joined by Gerald.
Second viewing of the day, Llun, with the Welsh Black on native cattle.
Yes, and we're joining the championship in the bulls, I believe, here in the Welsh Black section, and rejoining our judge for the day, Mr. Glyn Cemlyn-Williams from Denbighshire, a gentleman who's been breeding Welsh Black since 1962, the oldest herd of Welsh Blacks in Denbighshire. So, yes, a man that's more than qualified to cast his eye over these bulls in the championship.
Yes, and we have, as we say, the senior, intermediate and the junior bull all forward here, and as you can say, the future of the breed, the up and running of the breed, and the old stager of the breed, perhaps, then, isn't it?
Yes, that's it, isn't it? It's that opportunity to compare and gauge the various ages of bulls against each other here, and then he'll go on and select the male champion, which will then be rejoining us later in the day when he will then compete against the female champion that our judge will select later following the conclusion of the female classes.
And as I alluded to earlier on, the judge will ask questions of the handlers, and obviously hands-on on the actual animal. And different judges have different styles, and different judges will be looking for different points as well, but which makes it the judge's prerogative, and the judge is never wrong.
And that is certainly right, Gerald. They'll obviously be looking for the characteristics of the breed, but it is all down to the taste of that judge then, in terms of where they go and what they prefer in terms of qualities in each animal.
Yes, that's quite right, and it's a good job we're all different, and say he's signing his life away at the moment. Look, disclaimer in case some of the competitors don't like the decision, perhaps. But
yes, certainly that he'll obviously sign in on the dotted line.
Or he's signing for a luncheon ticket, perhaps. You never know.
There's a good chance that he'll have to earn that through the female classes before he gets a chance to eat that.
Yeah, fair comment. Yeah, but still, back to the serious business in terms of that he has the decision to make on who is the male champion of the breed, and looks as if he's made his mind up, and it is 3007.
Yes, the senior bull that we saw winning the class that we featured earlier, Brisgaga Brenin 67.
And as you stated, now this particular animal will go forward and compete against the female for champion of the Welsh Black cattle classes.
Yes, and the sign there of the sun. So Ivan just going to interview Ken Ellis, who owns Brisgaga Brenin there.
Mae wedi bod yn hir iawn dwad, ac mae fore braf ma dydi. Ac gael pancymwriaeth y teirw, braf iawn.
A safon arbennig o uchel mae eleni, Ken.
Da iawn, chwarae teg. Ti fod, mae Hereford i fewn y shed na, mae nhw werth i gweld, i gwir.
And he's quick to commend the quality of bulls that have been against his champion here today, coming to the fore here, and he did say it's been a long time coming, so congratulations to Ken Ellis and his sons.
Arbennig, pob lwc bai.
Diolch i fan.
Well, we'll stay with you, Anne and Gerald, because we're back in the sheep shearing shed.
Yes, we are, and it's back to the another section of the junior wool handling class. And we can see now then that the actual 6 shearers are actually on the stage, and you can see that just in shot there that 3 of the competitors have just started, and 3 of the competitors are actually coming down what they call the last side, so very nearly completing their task.
And this sort of emulates a little bit of what will be happening in the shearing shed for these wool handlers then, isn't it? They're having to deal with the wool of more than one shearer.
Oh yes, definitely so, but as I alluded to before, then this is the junior section, and then they try and stagger it a little bit, whereas when you're in the shearing shed and when the time bell says you go, every shearer's in, and every shearer would be shearing exactly the same time. So they are trying to stagger this a little bit to make it slightly easier for the junior wool handling section. And
this will help to benefit these competitors in terms of being able to offer that quality that the judges are going to be looking for.
Oh, that's quite right. Yes, quite right. And as you can see, that a particular shearer there now then is shearing. I wouldn't say that he's shearing flat out in any form or fashion, is he?
And I noticed him glancing across at the stand next door, so they are trying to keep it even in between each of these.
That's quite right. As we will, hopefully we will feature later on, we will see the pace will pick up. Just a bit of a look at this young lady, throwing the fleece onto the table, and they do try and get the fleece to land as flat as possible, because obviously it takes more time then to try and put it right if it hasn't landed flat. And we just seen there that the young lady also put the belly wool in the middle of the fleece, and that belly wool would be the first part where every shearer would cut off, and then they would actually dislodge it from the fleece, and then it's up to the wool handler then to pick it up and put it in. And then you will notice now then, once this wool handler is happy with how she's cleaned the stage, she will hold her hand up to say that she's actually finished and completed her task. So she's now got to clean the board as where the actual shearer is on, and then they have to clean the floor on where they are actually putting the wool. And hopefully we will see the young lady first to finish, or I think she's finished then, will hold her hand up and say that the job is complete. So therefore then her time she will have completed. There she goes, she hold her, and she did hold her hand up as well. So them 2 young ladies are saying the time, and the clock will have stopped.
And that completes their heat then, and we'll hopefully be able to see them again later.
Thank you, Llun. Thank you, Gerald. Well, it's been a short while since we've been in the sheep ring. Let's head over there now, and joining Gerald now is Emma.
Thank you very much. Yes, we started off the morning with some Dutch spotted sheep, but we're going to be joining the Texels for the first time in the ring this morning, Gerald.
Yes, indeed. A very, very strong breed in the show.
And looks like we're going straight...
Just for the finale, we've arrived, and yes, and he has made his decision in terms of selection of the winner.
So this class then is for ewes, which are 2-year-old or over, and they must have reared a lamb this year in 2025, because of course, Gerald, there's no point keeping a ewe if she's not working and earning her keep then.
No, you're quite right, and we see quite a variation of types of ewes in Finn, and in the actual Texel breed then, as of now, it's called a peeler, and we can see that a lot of these actual Texels were as of full of wool at one stage, and we can see patches now of the actual ewe, just a bare skin, and it's become a significant factor in the breed of the Texel now, because they do think that they call them a tighter skinned animal, and that a tighter skinned animal will be easier to fatten and good. So
Thank you. Yeah, faint o'r ein sydd ati de? 7 nawr, newydd dechrau, like 2 years now.
Well, beginner's luck for him.
We can see a very happy young man and taking first prize in this particular class.
Bwlch y gwynt pedigrees.
And obviously this will feature now, as is customary in all classes. Then this ewe will go forward to have a chance at being champion in the Texel breed, and all Texel breeders with the significant numbers of sheep that are in the show would love to be in that position. So we'll probably see this ewe later on.
Welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showgrounds and the background in the President's Pavilion area. The opening ceremony has just come to an end. The show was officially opened by the renowned Welsh broadcaster Day Thomas, and he did mention the forecast during his speech, and it's nice to say that the sun has come out here at Llanelwedd,
yn nes ymlaen. Mwy am hynny yn y man. Ond dewch i ni ail gyfarfod efo'n tîm ni rwan.
And we're going to do the rounds, as they say. As you can see, it's quite busy in the cattle ring. We will be joining Llun and Gerald there quite shortly. But in the meantime, just a brief chat with Maynard regarding the competitions in the sheep ring. And it's been quite busy there this morning. We've already paid a couple of visits there during the course of the morning here at the Royal Welsh Show. And we did mention earlier the restrictions due to the blue tongue disease rather. But the numbers are up in the sheep ring. Many Welsh farmers have come here to support the show. So there's plenty going on there, and we will be returning there shortly, of course. That's where Maynard will be on our behalf. And he has just mentioned there's so much to see here at the Royal Welsh Show. And our next port of call will be with the pigs. The competitions are continuing there, of course, so let's rejoin Llun and Emma.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're back with the Welsh pigs then, and we're joining now some younger gilts. So these are smaller than what we saw earlier, Llun, and these indeed have been born this year. So just shows how fast a pig grows, doesn't it?
It certainly does. When you see the size of these, having been born this year, and the size that we had in the class previous as well compared, it does put into context the amount that a pig will go and grow. And we've got these young gilts forward here, and similar to what you said earlier, Emma, it'll be the same characteristics the judge is looking for. Those slightly lop-shaped ears, the equal number of teats on each side with a minimum of 14. And these are all characteristics not only for the breed, but throughout the industry as a breeding pig that would be judged, isn't it?
Absolutely, and indeed the judge, Mr. Schofield from Lincolnshire, has stated that he's looking for a pig that follows the breed standard, so like you mentioned, the characteristic head and ears, but with a bit of shape and some cover and good presentation. And I think by presentation he sort of means the ring presence, is it? That it walks stylishly and holds itself well, isn't it?
Yes, a pig that essentially is showing itself off, isn't it? A pig that knows it owns the ring as such, isn't it? Which is something that you're looking for across any animal.
Absolutely.
When you're exhibiting it in a show.
Right, Tarkew.
Yeah. They're stating that these animals are actually born between these particular dates. Is there a registration of pigs then, as is in cattle, that you have to notify birth registration or whatever as individual animals because they're tagged individually? Or
yeah, I'd imagine so for pedigree animals, yes.
Yes, each of these animals has a pedigree name of its own, an individual identification, and I would imagine that has to be done by a certain number of days, be that just a notification or a full registration, which will be true across, as you mentioned, Emma, across all pedigree animals. And that is the sort of feature of any pedigree animal, is that it has that full traceability of his lineage documented, and a feature that we always see in the pig ring at some stage during most weeks. And Gerald and yourself talked about the conditions being good for showing pigs. Well, that sort of states it well there, doesn't it? It's
absolutely.
Just about cool enough, and that pig made a race for the shade.
So 5 entries in this class then. One born in February 2025, and the rest then would be January born this year. So 7120 there, a pig from Emyr and Nia Roberts, who are familiar faces indeed in the Welsh pig breed, and also doing very well in the winter fair every year. So very good to see them back here again.
Oh, siŵr o fod, fel bob blwyddyn ma.
We were talking about the identification of these pigs earlier, and we'll notice as they're going around, we can see the tag in the one ear, but if you just see the faint blue lines through the ear as well, that's the other form of identification for a pig, isn't it? Is that tattoo, that is put inside the ear. And that gives them the opportunity to be identified individually, even without the tag, because I'm sure that anybody watching at home, without casting a really keen eye across these pigs, there's a huge similarity between them all, isn't there?
It can be quite difficult to differentiate between them, indeed. Now then, he's collected his cards. It'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Which of the 5 he selects as his winner.
It's a job to cut.
Making his move.
And the winner there is the young gilt from Myrddin James, Aaron Lucky Girl. And indeed, she has been lucky here in the ring today. Now then, and the reserve.
And weighing up his second place.
Sorry, just trying to find find Chase, trying to find.
That is one of the tough things in the pig ring.
And the second place going to Tavy Evans.
Tavy Evans.
And another lucky girl.
Yes. All tracing from the same family of pigs at Goldfoot with Tavy Evans there, and congratulations to each of them on their success today.
Well, we will be back in the pig ring later on. In the meantime, let's head back to the sheep shearing shed, and it's Gerald and Llun once again.
So we're on to the YFC section of the wool handling now. So the same applies again. This is the first heat of that, where the sheep are shorn by the shearers for the purpose of the wool handler going through the competition.
Yes, you're quite right. In terms of same rules apply exactly for these young farmers, which are obviously the younger people of the industry. And as you see, then the 2 shearers then, and the one is already down onto the long blow, and the other one is into the back leg. So they have staggered the start of the shearing to make the life a little bit easier for the wool handlers because of the junior status then.
For those of you at home, the differentiation between the competition we saw earlier that Gerald mentioned, the juniors, and this being the YFC, this is the Young Farmers Club, the YFC's own wool handling competition. So there could be some of these competitors might well be doing both competitions if they are open and qualified enough to qualify for each.
I would go as far to say you're quite right, and quite a few of them I would have thought then will be put in, say, 2 appearances into this, in terms of whether they are juniors, intermediate or senior wool handlers. They will be competing for the actual YFC, because you can be at any age up to
26
years of age.
28 nowadays, actually, for these young farmers.
Yes, we would have seen, obviously, if we'd have featured it all, we'd have seen some of the young ladies before.
And each of these will have qualified from their own county within the young farmers section here, but in the open section, or the junior, the intermediate, senior of the wool handling, the competition, the shows competition, and as such, do they have to qualify to get here, or is it a case of entering?
No, you can actually enter as in junior, and I believe I'm correct in stating that if they win, then they're automatically upgraded a section. But I believe if you compete in major competitions of the stature of the Royal Welsh Show, if you compete twice, then you automatically go up in terms of age group, up into, say, the next section then. So, but all these girls then, some of them will have travelled the world and rolled wool in New Zealand, where shearing is a 10-month of the year, 11-month of the year job. So you can go out there and you can crop across the Tasman Sea and go into Australia and earn a living. So whereas in this country it's only just basically a couple of months though. So I would give aspiration to say that most of these young ladies have travelled and done this professionally then. So anyway, we'll have to come back in a little while and see the resumption if we get any more classes.
Ac yn wir, Fion Jenkins o Geredigion sydd â llaw I fyny gyntaf Llanfairchiadau Mawr, felly iddi hi ar gyflawni'r dasg.
Well, don't forget, there's more than one way to follow the activities here at the Royal Welsh Show. We're live on the air on the television between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
English language commentary is available.
And of course, from 8 o'clock in the morning onwards, we are streaming on the website from the main ring, and you can follow the individual competitions within the main ring as well. All the information as far as following the Royal Welsh is available on our website, which is s4c.cymru/Sioe, and don't forget the highlights programmes at 9 o'clock in the evening. Right then, it's a while since we've been to the main ring, so that's where we're going next, and it's welcome back, Anwen Haf Griffiths.
Welcome. We are back at the south end of the main ring with the pinnacle, it looks like, the end of the Section C class. So our judges, Sophia Chambers, the ride judge, and John James of the Shanwood Stud, the confirmation judge. And this is the most nerve-wracking time, I think, for the competitors. They're sitting there waiting. So it looks like we've got Kyle stood in top at the moment with Blind Killer Rodri. We've got Katie Marriott Payne stood in second at the moment. And then in third, it looked like Abby Bowen with Blind Silla Penny. But the marks, you can see there, the steward pointing and thing. John and Sophia are all sorting out the marks. It's all based on that system, so things could change, but we shall see.
So actually you say confirmation judge and appearance judge, then they obviously have to score these two as an individual then. So what happens if there is a fair variation in the choice of the two different judges? How do they sort it out?
I think the performance mark goes higher. If they've had the highest performance, will go over if there's a joint mark. But the judges have got a range of marks. It's out of 50 for confirmation and out of 50 for the performance. So it's very rare that you would have such a clash because they've got that massive range of marks to go from. So it all depends really. But they're having a good discussion, so it looks like they've had a good morning.
So we take it they're getting on then, is that the truth?
Well, I think so. But yeah, this is the most nerve-wracking time. The class is done. They've done the best that they can. Kyle there looking a little bit worried. It's been an early start.
It's been an early start for him, actually, looks like it, yeah.
I myself have not even been competing today, and I was still up at 6 o'clock this morning. So God knows what time these people were up.
But to myself then, that knows very little about horses, quite a lot of variation in this particular class, isn't it, in type and size of horses? So the judges have got their work cut out, haven't they?
Yes, the Section Cs have always just been what we class a pony of cob type. Now, some people prefer them to be more of a horse with a slightly larger head and thing, but then others would prefer them to be more of a pony type with a slightly smaller head and a more dish and a little bit more Welsh. But the Cs are just a variety of types, and this is where it's all down to personal preference on what you like in the end. He's got a very important job there with those rosettes, hasn't he?
I was going to say, all eyes on the person with this, usually eyes on the judge, but unfortunately it's now, isn't he? And the person that has got the rosettes is being featured. But the two judges are still in discussion, and hopefully they've reached their decision, and we won't have too long to wait to find out.
Weld, Sylwebaeth
John himself, his daughter Philippa would have been riding many years ago. She's involved in the horse industry now. She's an equine physio. But it's all relevant. So the hat is off by the steward, so it does look like a decision has been made. So what they would generally do for those of you at home now is either they call the number forward or they call the competitor. But it looks like they've called the number. And actually this winner has come from the bottom of the line. So congratulations to Kate Williams and Donistic Turpin.
So there is no actual selection of winners in this particular section in order of placing actually in the ring then?
Well, what they liked on the go-round is what they pulled in the original lineup. So they must have liked these top three on the go-round. But the mark system then has meant that these have come up from the bottom of the line.
So as I stated then, you know, the two judges have had to confer.
Yes.
And then the marks then has dictated the winner. So automatically being selected at the top didn't mean that they were going to win.
Not necessarily, no. So we can see now.
Even there, an animal then has been called from the back lineup.
Yes, yeah, and this is
so it's keeping us and the crowd in suspense then.
Very much so. But
plus the handler, or the riders, I should say.
But there we see the winner there, Kate Williams with Donistic Turpin. And for those of you that follow the Section Cs, he was champion here in hand a couple of years ago, and still a novice pony in his novice second year under saddle. And at home, for those of you more interested in the results, we had Menai George in second, and we had Ella Einon with Menai More Fury in third. So hope we will jump over now and have a quick chat with Richard and Hannah.
Congratulations, Donistic Turpin, no stranger to wins here at the Royal Welsh, having won previously in hand. How is it feeling now? There's not much left for him to win.
No, it's tremendous, to be honest. You know, you come to a show like the Royal Welsh and he's been very fortunate to do it in hand and now under saddle, and it just goes to show the breeding and the nature of this pony on he can do the both. So
I think you're being quite modest there. There's a lot of hard work that goes into these ponies at home as well, and Kate of course wasn't pulled top. She wasn't in the top few, to be honest, so it was such a surprise to come up to first. How did you feel when you saw her trotting forward?
You know, you can't describe the feeling that you get, but you give the ride judge a hell of a ride, and it goes to show, you know, the work that Kate puts in goes to show that, you know, you can get on board, and he performs like he did, and very proud of them both, very, very proud.
And of course the reason Kate isn't here with us is she's riding in the next class again, so you're a very busy morning, a very successful morning so far. Many, many congratulations. Llongyfarchiadau mawr iawn I chi.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showground at Llanelwedd. The sun is shining and we're heading for the cattle ring. So here's Gerald and Llun.
Yes, and our view then of another native breed of the British Isles in the Hereford. And we're in class 447, cow in calf or with calf at foot, born on or before the 31st of December 2022. So the actual cow is the animal that is being judged here, and if they have a calf at foot, then basically it's only to keep the cow quiet and keep her company, isn't it?
It is certainly that. But most judges, in my mind, I would imagine, will be looking at that calf and taking a little gauge as to how good a job the cow is doing of it, because that is also part of her maternal instinct and her maternal ability. But what I also say is that if the cow isn't sort of up to the job of rearing the calf, I doubt she's going to be at the Royal Welsh.
Well, okay, fine, yes, but a cow that isn't doing the calf then is usually doing herself. So perhaps it looks around the other way and say then, well, you might get a tremendous cow who's never reared in her life.
Certainly that.
So, yeah, no, it is actually the cow that is being judged here at the moment, and the Hereford breed is obviously derived just from down the road here from Wells in Hereford. It's in the title realistically, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And this distinctive white head and predominantly white legs and white tip to the tail and white belly, and obviously that nice rich red colour.
And certainly, Gerald, one of the most easily identifiable breeds, isn't it?
Yes,
It's because of those pronounced
distinguishing
markings, the
marks,
distinguishing sort of features that she has and markings that she has. But they're obviously originally a breed from Herefordshire, but our judge today joins us from Wiltshire, Mr. Richard Edwards, a foot trimmer by trade, so I'm sure a man that will have a great appreciation of an animal that is mobile and good on his legs and feet, or you would imagine so?
Well, you would have thought so, yes. Perhaps he'd be looking for one that he has to trim, though, perhaps, you know.
Perhaps he's looking for a little trade.
Yeah. But no, as we stated, this Hereford breed is most distinguishable, but right throughout the world, the Hereford is in most countries as well, isn't it?
Well, certainly, it is a well-travelled breed, a breed that has left its mark all over the globe, you know, through the Americas and even down into Australia. They are a breed that is seen everywhere, a breed that's left its mark, but has also seen a variation in its sort of form and presentation within each of those countries, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, and I believe, if I'm correct, in Canadian Herefords are a slightly different stature again, aren't they? Because they were bred for being very tall, and whereas the Herefords in this country then are, say, shorter on the leg a little bit, aren't they? And so...
And
yeah,
certainly that gives you an idea of genetic diversity within a breed, that we can have extremes like that that are probably lending themselves well to the meat industry in each of their respective countries.
That's right, yeah.
That you will see that variety and that difference in between them.
And we see then, just then shot, as I alluded to before, then a cow with a smaller calf then, and one there with quite a larger calf, but obviously as stated then, it has no bearing on their actual judging of what the judge is looking for.
No, certainly, Gerald, the size of calf is going to be based a lot on the age of it. And the one in view that you alluded to is from View Livestock, from Stephen O'Kane.
Big cow. That's a very big cow.
Very powerful cow, isn't it?
It is a very big, powerful cow, that is, yes.
A mature sort of cow.
Yes, indeed, yes.
As well, isn't it? It's
but like we alluded to before, then in the Welsh blacks and our native breeds, they are slower to mature, and obviously it's the meat quality and whatever that they are then. And native breed is native breed, and It's good to see that the native breeds are represented well here at the Royal Welsh Show, isn't it?
Well, certainly is that. If we can't showcase them in our national shows throughout the UK, we haven't got a shop window for them.
So we'll have to come back in a little while to see the conclusion of that particular class.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Llun. Well, we will return to the food hall and rejoin Nia, who's still at the Cywaen stall, and Louise McNitt is just explaining that the companies in the background are new companies that Cywaen are helping here at the Royal Welsh Show to get their products on the market.
A ti'n dysgu Cymraeg yn barod?
And Rachel just explaining that she's learning Welsh.
How are you finding the business and today here in the Royal Welsh?
Yeah, bendigedig.
Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah. So, yeah, we only moved in January, and we moved all 300 of our goats to our farm. So we've got 120 acres of grassland, so we've got them all out grazing now, which is great because we just didn't have room before on our old farm. So, yeah, we're settling in really well, I think.
So whereabouts are you producing then?
We're in Carmarthenshire, near Llangadog. Yes, we've got the goats and the cheese making all on the farm. We're really loving being part of the Welsh food scene, aren't we? It's really a sort of exciting, vibrant, lots of support, lots of interest in sort of quality food and sort of high quality farming as well. So we're really enjoying it. Yeah.
And this will be your message today, I presume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We want to taste the best, then Welsh cheese is this.
So tell me about your cheese then.
So we've got two cheeses here. We've got Onnyn Brightwell here, and we've got Bryn Synodon here. So they're both lactic goat's cheeses. This one's matured for about 2 weeks, and here we've got one that's 2 to 4 weeks old. So at the start they're very citrusy, zingy. This one's a bit like kind of clotted cream. This one's a kind of fluffier texture. That's just to do with the way that they're drained. And as they mature, they get kind of a nuttiness developing, and just a sort of a more in-depth flavour profile as they get older.
Oh, I'm feeling quite hungry now. Pob lwc heddiw yma. Diolch. A phob hwyl efo'r gwersi Cymraeg yn Rhydaman hefyd. Pob lwc i'r rai ohonych chi. Reit, Louise, pwy sydd gyda ni fan hyn? Hello, boys.
Hello. Moving on, and next door is the Porthcawl Distillery, who are showing their gin produce.
Two best friends who are really small, tiny little distillery down near Porthcawl. Producing small batch gins.
Yeah, some hand-picked botanicals. So we got local forage seaweed and gorse from down West Bay. We do it as a family. We do it from start to finish, ourselves.
So how many different gins have you got here today?
So we've got a range of 4. This is our full lineup. So we've got our Welsh Dry, which is 43%. We won silver in the World Gin Awards with this one and gold in the Gin Guide.
Excellent.
Yes, and then we've got apple and elderflower, rhubarb and ginger, and passion fruit.
Which one do you recommend?
Passion fruit, I think. You'll be all over that one, I think. I think you're going to like that one. But it's been good. It's nice for us to sort of see people and sort of showcase the brand. You know, we're a family-run business. We do everything in-house. And it's our first time on the Royal Welsh. So,
have a great day.
Thank you for coming over.
Thank you very much.
Pob lwc i chi. Reit ta. At y mail, da ni'n mynd nesa, Louise.
The Porthcawl Distillery, one of 4 companies on the Cywaen stall this morning, and the third company is Mael Llun, which is a honey company based up in the Llun Peninsula, run by husband and wife, and they started keeping bees about 9 years ago. He wanted to keep them before, but unfortunately my wife wouldn't let me. But she's given in. There's a bit of a story there. We'll hear that one later on. But 9 years ago I started keeping the bees. And what kind of bees are you keeping? Local bees. Just a variety of different types of bees, and that presumably gives you different types of honey? Not really. It's the same taste. It's not the bee that actually decides on the flavour of the honey. So why keep different bees then? What's the point of that? Well, some will produce more honey than others, and that's the reason some are better avoiding different diseases, etc. And which is your favourite then? The buckfuss is the favourite. They're more docile, and you can open the hive without wearing a suit as well. But what about the produce? What's your ambitions of being here at the Royal Welsh? Well, we want people to know about us. This is our first show, and it's an opportunity for people to taste the honey that we produce. And it is an opportunity. It's part of the, this marketing experience that you're going through is all part and parcel of setting up a business and benefiting from what a program like Cywain has to offer. Have a good show. Good luck today.
Well,
let's go back to the pig ring. It's back to Emma and Llun.
Thank you very much. Yes, we've been following some of the Welsh pig competitions this morning, the gilts. So I do believe we might be having our first championship of the day. So now we are in special class 1314 for the champion rosette for the best Welsh exhibit. So we will have out in the class now, Llun, the best female and reserve and the best male and reserve.
And each of those would have been decided in their own championship previously.
Yes, so we just see that we've had a change of contributor as well. Speaking to Aaron earlier in the morning, we had Spetsan Williams speaking to him, and she's actually out with her sow by there now. So she's indeed been very busy this morning.
So
quite hard now then this one, because we got the judge there comparing rather the males and the females, so the best overall pig.
Yes, and
different ages as well. So you've got sort of a junior boar on the screen there, and then an older sow and the younger gilt as well.
And he's obviously getting closer to making his decision. He's gone to pick up his rosettes, ready to award the championship here in the Welsh pig section.
And indeed, and then where's he going? Oh, there we go. And it's Betsan Williams there showing a sow on behalf of Sioned Thomas, who from Pembrokeshire. And I'm pretty sure that Sioned's not showing the sow because she'll be out showing the Texel. She's up there with the sheep as well. She's only not long been keeping Welsh pigs. She is quite the stock woman. And I wonder how she's getting on with the sheep. Did she go with the right animals today?
But what a way to start.
Amazing. Very, very well done to her.
Diolch.
Welcome back to the Royal Welsh Showground at Llanelwedd. Let's head straight for the main ring and we'll join Anwen.
Well, thank you, Gareth. So we have joined this end of the ring with the class 151, the small hunters. So it's ponies or horses exceeding 148 centimetres but not exceeding 158 centimetres. And in Old World that means not exceeding 15.2. So we've gone all metric in the system. So these are what we class as small hunters. So a horse that's designed to carry somebody all day hunting, but not of too tall and things. So basically something that for me, ideal for me. But today's judges for our hunters is Mr. Nigel Peel for confirmation. And as you can see in the shot there, Miss Louise Daly, who's doing the ride. Now, Louise has ridden all her life, and she mentioned earlier today that she's been judging for over 30 years now, which she says that makes her feel very old. But she looks all young and sprightly there on her morning of judging. She's got quite a few entered. There were 17 entered in this particular class, and 14 have come forward, so a good turnout for her. She's judged all over the world in both Ireland, Holland, Scotland, and today she's ventured into Wales. She's normally out hunting and has been a master of the Ledbury Hunt for 16 seasons. But she says her real passion is her love of national hunt racing. So, but at home she keeps all sorts. She keeps ex-racehorses as well as the Irish hunters, and she also comes the cattle and the sheep. So I'm sure she'll have a walk around the end of the show after her day's judging. So we see now 1616 getting a leg up. So Louise will have a ride on this exhibit. Now this is Sioned Williams and her horse is Shannondale Scotty. Now Sioned is a young lady from Llandailo, so very local, and bought this horse 2 years ago to do a little bit of show jumping with. But she's done a little bit of lead rein with her daughter and she's caught the showing bug, so she decided to bring her show jumper and do a couple of flat classes. He's only done a couple of flat classes in the preparation for the Royal Welsh, so I think he's probably a little bit confused as to where the show jumps are. So this atmosphere will be a little bit alien to him, but he's obviously a little bit sprightly and not quite used to this thing. The brakes possibly not kicking in as well there. But again, this is part of what we have to prepare for these shows. Sometimes it's very different for a ride judge to sit on when there's only a rider at home and they haven't got anybody else. So Louise there is sitting in a nice forward seat, letting him open up and be a true hunter and have a good gallop out. So I hope Sioned isn't too disappointed, because he has gone very well for her, the ride judge. Just the atmosphere got a little bit too much for him today. But I'm sure Sioned will be thinking. A nice shot there of the exhibits all forward. And it's nice to see such a good turnout in the hunters when we all clash with the Royal International, which is down in Hickstead in Surrey. So I'm sure we'll get a chance to come back to see the completion of this class later on in the morning.
Thank you, Anwen. Thank you very much. And from the main ring, an aerial view of the sheep ring here at the Royal Welsh Showground. So let's join Gerald and Emma.
Yes, we're back in the Texel class.
Yeah, we're joining class 1249, which is the yearling ewe class, and good numbers out in this class, Gerald.
Yes, very good to be fair. And as we stated before, then all these exhibitors would be Welsh bred. See a young man familiar to myself there and holding the sheep in shot is John Arian Davis' son from Capel Isaac.
Seeing a good bit of the bloom, as they call it, or the sheep fake tan, as we say, Gerald. They like a bit of the colouring.
Yeah.
It's some breed societies don't allow it to be used in the show ring. The Texels obviously do, and it's some breeders like it because it shows the whiteness of the hair on the face and legs, doesn't it?
Yes, I think, to be fair, it's like as we said did before, and leave no stone unturned, but it is very nice to see the bloom, and we see various colours and traits, and we see the brown. I don't believe we got any in this class, or a darker colour I should say, and then some are this real bright yellow, and some don't bother, and they're actually very, very white.
Tremendous depth of body on that you were just viewing there.
There's the peeler, as I stated earlier on, alluded to before. Like a lot of wool has been shed, and it's a harder coated sheep and a tighter skinned sheep then.
It was very fashionable a few years ago. We noticed a lot of sheep doing it, so maybe it was in a breeding trait of a certain ram that a lot of breeders were using, or in certain bloodlines.
No, that is the sort of the thought process of a peeler will produce a better fat lamb, an easier fattening fat lamb, in terms of the fact that they are harder. And that's what was sort of the thought process of it, but
yes, I think
don't really know.
I think it does follow in sort of in the breeding.
Well, I'll tell you from my own perspective then, in terms of we lamb several ewes ourselves, and we lamb in March and we're in Wales. So if they haven't got a jacket on, which is a natural jacket, as we could say, in wool and whatever, then a lot of these will struggle to survive in what climatic conditions we get in April and March and April then. And if it's very, very cold and wet, well, they're going to suffer. So, and I've yet to see a person have been able to sell a good dead lamb, like, isn't it?
So the judge there, Mr. David Chestnut from Northern Ireland, he says he's looking for a modern Texel that is eye-catching with features of a sharp outlook, tight skin and tremendous carcass. And he certainly has seemed to have made
this
up a
is a good class, isn't it, to be fair?
Tremendous class. But his shortlist, they certainly do seem to be of a type, doesn't it? They similar sort of heads on them. Pulling these out again now.
There is tremendous confirmation on a lot of these yearling ewes, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of condition as well.
Yes, indeed. But we'll have to come back in a little while then to see if
we'll join
the judge's decision.
Yeah, we'll be back with Emma and Gerald in the sheep ring later on. In the meantime, it's back to the cattle ring, and joining Gerald this time is Llun.
Yes, we're back with hopefully the conclusion of the Hereford cow.
Yes, class 447. So this was that class that we saw earlier, the cow and calf, cow in calf or with a calf at foot, born on or before the 31st of December 22. And yes, the winning exhibit coming from DE, ED and AL Jones, Dendor 1 Lilac Wine. So she was the cow selected to come to the fore.
Yes, a very nice cow, not quite the biggest of cows, but
no, but a very compact,
cow, and
compact, well put together little cow.
Perhaps you alluded to that maybe the calf had an influence. It's a very good calf there, to be fair.
It is an exceptionally good calf. Obviously a far older calf than this little one that's suckling his mother right here. This one's obviously quite a young one. And obviously is more reliant on his mother, so obviously still suckling quite heavily, whereas the heifer on the winning cow, obviously slightly more mature, a little closer to weaning, and less reliant on its own mother's milk to be nurtured.
So, as is customary in all breeds and whatever, these particular cow we will feature later on in the overall championship of the Hereford breed.
Yes, certainly, and well, obviously we'll have to come to the female championship first before then hopefully presenting herself later. We'll hopefully join some more of the Hereford judging later.
welcome back on this, the first day of the Royal Welsh Show in Llanelwedd. And Nia is once again in the food hall with Emily Rees. And they're going on a little tour of the food hall. Emily Rees has been working here in the show for the last 15 years, working more often than not here in the food hall. I was scooping ice cream initially when I was younger, and then I've worked with the supermarket Tesco as well, and now I work with Promote Meat Wales. So there's quite a variety of different little jobs here at the Royal Welsh. But this year I'm here with the family, staying in the caravan with 3 young children. So I need to do some shopping. Yep, and they're hoping to have a barbecue this evening. So where do we start? Right, they're going to start with Dewi Roberts, a well-known butcher from Llanelwedd. And Emma just saying, yeah, my basket is empty. And Dewi's response immediately was, don't worry, I can fill that for you. And she's looking for some lamb chops, as well as a couple of burgers, and also, lamb burgers or meat burgers? Right, beef burgers then, lamb chops.
Yeah, please.
So as far as Meat Promotion Wales is concerned, it's a busy time, of course, here at the Royal Welsh. We do have a stall here ourselves, of course, and a lot of people come to take part in the cooking demonstrations, of course. We've seen in the past many ex-rugby players taking part as well, and there'll be some appearing later this week, of course. Don't forget to pay, Emily. Yep. So that's 2 beef burgers, 2 lamb chops. And Nia's just asking Dewi, how many shows have you been to in the past? 29 shows consecutively. It's either 28 or 29. I'm not sure. Of course, we weren't here during COVID, so I don't count them. Everyone's different. Everyone's fresh. It comes to the point now with Emily, for example. I used to serve her mother when she was here, and it comes to the point now that I'm getting to the 3rd generation, so I'm getting a bit concerned about that. But as Dave Thomas alluded to in the opening ceremony, it's a tradition, isn't it? As if one generation takes over from the previous one. And the thing is with the Royal Welsh Show, having been here so many years, you get to know people very, very well, and you consider them friends by now. Right, let's get on with the paying. I have noticed Dewi hasn't said how much he was charging, though. So there we are. That's the meat ready for the barbecue. And on with the shopping. Right, let's get back to the sheep shearing shed. And it's the young farmers again. This is heat number 4. Back to Llun and Gerald.
Yes, indeed, young farmers, and I do believe I've seen a young man taking part in this particular heat. Llun?
Yes, and obviously he's qualified to represent his county here at the Royal Welsh Show. Come to the fore at county level, and then obviously up here for the Wales final for the young farmers wool handling.
Well, I was actually lucky, very lucky myself, to spend a couple of years in New Zealand many years ago, and all of the shearers that were actually shearing, as I met at the time, had all gone through this process. They were actually what they call a rousey in New Zealand, and this is what a rousey is in terms of handling the wool. So it's basically you start at the bottom and work your way up.
So in essence, they know how to deal with the end product before they learn how to take the product off the ewe, really.
Fair comment. But I'd also appreciate, and I'm a big believer in this, like the best employees are ex-employees. The best employers are ex-employees, and therefore, if you were a wool handler and you've had to endure them shearers throwing them fleeces all over the place and that, then it makes it difficult. So if you're being a rouser yourself and you can appreciate what these shearers are doing and leaving that wool there in a decent spot for the handler there as we seem to pick it up, well, it makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
I am a believer that everybody should go through the process of where do you start? At the bottom. And we can all work our way up through life in every aspect of work or industry and whatever. And like we say, maybe this young man hasn't been there, but I'm sure a lot of the shearers that are shearing in New Zealand as of today are ex-rosies, which
certainly
is their job.
You mentioned the young man. We've obviously got 3 competitors in the heat here. He's Deo Williams on stand 5. There's 2 young ladies then, Lauren Morris on stand 1 and Caris Owen on 3, and each of them drawing to a close, starting to get cleaned up here.
Yes, and as we said before, it's not the fastest that will win. It's a lot of in this competition in terms of the cleanliness, the way that they've handled the wool, and the way that they have presented the fleeces for the finished job. And we see the young lady there finishing, and then she realises a little bit wool behind. She put it in a pocket, perhaps. But, we'll have to wait and see then, and who does come to the fore and go through to the next round.
Yeah, plenty of activity going on in the sheep shearing shed. And don't forget, you can follow the activity is at the Royal Welsh on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram and TikTok. All the information you need is on our website, s4c.cymru/Sioe. All the information, as I said, is on that website. Right then, it's back to the main ring, and we feature the horses once again, and we'll welcome Anwen back into the commentary position.
Hello, Gareth. Okay, so we look like we are coming to the conclusion of the class that we saw earlier with Louise Daly and Mr. Robert Peel, who are judging the small hunters. So a nice shot there of the top 3 at the moment. But again, the same as what we had in the ridden cobs. It's the most nerve-wracking time for all of them. So at the moment, stood in top there, we see Jessica Pritchard. And she's riding for Lauren Rees's Borderfield's Mr. Titan. And there we are, the first red rosette has been handed out. And it does look like it has gone there to Jessica Pritchard. So congratulations to her with Borderfield's Mr. Titan. Exhibit number 1610, owned by Lauren Rees. Sired by Balfour Whisper, out of an Oat Hill mirror image. Bred by Tracy Jones, so congratulations to her as well. Second place there, it looks like it goes to Charlotte Owen. With a homebred mare. They had a very successful season last year, being Supreme of Show at Pembs County with Tar Dauntless. So ridden today in the ring with by her daughter Chloe. So congratulations to Charlotte and Chloe Owen. And in third there we see Bobby Thomas with Glenomra Everest. I understand that this mare has been a brood mare for the last couple of years, so it's her first season back under saddle for a while. So congratulations to Bobby Thomas there. And then in fourth place we have David Thomas with his daughter riding Victoria. So it's the horse Maishol Mai Tai. Just slightly out of shot there for all of you at home interested in these hunters. So we shall see Jessica come back now for the Hunter Championship later on in the morning. But it's been a wonderful morning for Jessica. And she's big smile on her face there, so she's thoroughly enjoying her lap of honour. So congratulations to her. A feeling that I think nobody else can ever recreate is that gallop in front of that grandstand with a red rosette round your waist.
Well, many congratulations, Jessica Pritchard from Llantrisand, winning the small hunter class here at the Royal Welsh. Your smile says it all.
I know. It's been the plan for a while. I ride it for a friend of mine, Lauren Race, so we normally compete during dressage, but obviously I used to do a lot of showing before, so I thought, let's go for the Royal Welsh, let's do the smalls with him, because I knew he'd give a good ride for the judge.
And that's so important, isn't it? Because you go in and you do your walk, trot, canter, and then, of course, you hand the reins over to the judge, and he performed beautifully.
He did, and luckily the judge gave me some lovely feedback saying that he gave her the best ride of the year. So, and she judges a lot.
Can't ask for better than that, can we? Well, you have a championship later on. Huge good luck from us, and many congratulations.
There we are. We'll see Jessica later on in the morning.
Enjoy your day.
Thanks very much.
Welcome back, and what a view that is of the showground here at Llanelwedd. The sun is shining, day one of this year's show, and we're heading for the sheep ring. Here's Emma and Gerald.
Yes, we're back in the Llun Texel Sioe. And our judge, Mr. David Chestnut from County Antrim in Ireland there, is hopefully giving his final look over before he makes his decision to award the Red Rosette. Looks as if he's close to making that decision, Em.
It certainly does look like it. He's had a tough class to judge here. Tremendous show of sheep. That's a powerful ewe at the head of the class at the moment there. Oh, now we're just loosing them free. A lot of judges like to do this, and it's important so that they can see what these sheep are like in their movement, in their locomotion, and whether they
the judge is quite locomotive too. He's quite quick and tearing around, and it is nobody will ever ask you how long it took you to do it.
No, absolutely not. It's just important.
The decision is right.
Yes.
Nobody ever asked that question. Two lovely ewes, and he's looks as if he's
aren't they?
making his final choice between.
Tremendous condition on both of them.
Oh yes, prepared well for the Royal Welsh show.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously a lot at stake here for the individual breed and breeders that will be able to promote themselves in the sale of the yearling rams, or maybe they'll sell females later on. A bit of bragging rights, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
And
of
won
course,
the Royal Welsh class of yearling ewes in 2025, and maybe, who knows, one of these ewes may well produce a future champion or a future ram that is worth a lot of money then.
The winner of this class will come back in later on for the overall female championship, and then there will be the overall Texel champion, and later on in the week we will have the champion of all the breeds out together for the overall show champion. It's a bit like the World Cup of sheep, isn't it, Gerald?
Yes, very comic, good description, yes.
Gosh, he is really making the most of his time in the ring there,
Yes,
Mr. Chestnut, isn't he?
I would go as far to say then this ewe that's actually closest to us at the moment then is a very, very deep-bodied ewe, an exceptional shape, and there you go, he looks as if he's agreed with me, and she looks as if she's come to the top of the line, and it is number 6512
from Geralt Rowlands from Gwynedd.
6516 in second position.
Yeah, from DG and N Williams. Very happy exhibitor there.
Yes, fair dues.
Oedd hwnna'n glos iawn. Glo man oedd rhwng nhw, dwi'n siŵr, erbyn diwedd.
Newid yn diwedd.
Ond be ti mes i môr arbennig? Mae lle dechrau'n llyd yn di, oes e?
A pob peth yn un, dydi. Lle, cario.
Just describing the ewe that she really has got it all.
So, yeah.
I'm sure this won't be the last time we see this ewe in the show this year.
Wel, mae'r sioe'n esblygu.
Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Gerald. And Aaron is in a brand new area here at the Royal Welsh show this year. He's at the Heavy Horse Village, which and when is brand new for this year.
Yes, it's brand new for the show. It's been introduced by the feature county this year, which is Caernarfon, and it's been introduced to try and improve the horses, the traditional horses, to show their strength, their beauty, and actually what they used to be doing. And we see now here Stacey Vaughan from the Gentle Giants down in Pembrokeshire there, not far from myself, and that horse dwarfs Aaron, bless him,
yeah.
But they are literally Gentle Giants.
Yes, this Heavy Horse Village is the brainchild of this year's Royal Welsh Ambassador, Rhys Griffith, who runs a family Trem Wyddfa stud in Llanberis, and he just wants to bring, you know, the knowledge and love of heavy horses to more people, which he is going to do.
Definitely, and look at the crowd already. They're already there. And I think for the likes of people that don't get to get up and close and personal, this is a fantastic opportunity. They've got a mare and foal there, so everybody will be able to meet them. They're going to be able to actually get their hands on and have a lesson on the history, what they're for, the reason for, and how they turn them out. They're going to be seeing them later on getting all dressed up, ready for the ring.
So as well as competing, there's an educational element to this heavy horse village.
Very much so, yes. And at the moment, the Shire horse was an endangered species. They think they are stabilising now, but they are definitely on the short list of endangered species. But Stacey has been in the Shire horses for years, and she rides these as well as driving them, and John, her father, works them. They do a lot of ploughing competitions.
Anyone's done something to upset Joe.
But these are very much working horses. They offer funerals, they do weddings, and Stacey rides them. She used to do a bit of dressage with the horses. She competed at Horse of the Year show under saddle. Here we go. We'll see now if Aaron is any good at giving them a bit of a brush.
Yeah, he's not going to get away without working.
He needs to put a bit more elbow grease into it.
I was going to say, it's just as well he's not looking after Joe in the background, who obviously didn't like him initially.
We'll see them all later on.
Yes, we will, and it's an area that'll be well worth visiting if you're coming here to the Royal Welsh Showground, the Heavy Horse Village, making its debut at this year's Royal Welsh. Right, let's head back to the cattle ring and let's rejoin Llun and Gerald.
We're back in our native breed of Wales in the Welsh Black, and it's a heifer born on or before the 1st of the 1st, 23. And future breeding cows then, Ewan, of the herds.
Yes.
Here in show of our pedigree herds, I should say.
Yes, that opportunity to see what the future holds for the breed in terms of these young heifers born after the 1st of January 23. And we've got a good number forward, 9 entered. We'll maybe just have to wait for a wider shot to make sure that we see how many have made it forward to the ring.
And in shot there is 30-22, and that's from L.R. Williams. Macreth Betson, 74th. 74th, Ewan. Gee whiz.
Yes.
A long history behind that particular breed of that particular heifer then.
And it's an interesting thing that when we talk about usually the names that we say here, for those of you that aren't aware of how it usually works, the first name that we'd be stating would be the prefix, so that's the farm it comes from, the prefix that the breeders have chosen, and then there'll be the family name. Generally, will be the next thing, and as Gerald alluded to, that then it would be the 74th Betson of this family. So dependent on how many of the cow family are there. A lot of these will all probably trace back to one cow, but it just depends on the number of cows there, the breeding program that they have, and how many they retain for breeding out of those animals every year. As far as the multiplication, I know there are certain cow families within some of the dairy breeds that could have 1,000 or 1,200. But obviously we are talking slightly different volumes and numbers to what some of these cows are coming out of in terms of herd size.
Yes, indeed, and obviously, as we've alluded to before, our continental friends, the continental cattle, have come into this particular country, and whereas one time you would have had probably a lot of Hereford cross Welsh black cows and a lot of pure Hereford cows and pure Welsh black cows, as the herds or suckler herds were based on, whereas now we have the Limousine, Belgian Blues, and a lot of people have gone for the continental influence. So perhaps the Welsh Blacks and the Herefords and our native breeds have struggled with the numbers for commercial herds. So, but still, it's good to see that a lot of people are still keeping the pedigree of the Welsh Black and the Hereford, and are still going. And as you can see, then there's a very good class of cattle, because they have a very, very important role to play in Wales still, don't they?
Well, certainly we've alluded to it a little bit earlier in terms of upland grazing and that ability to have that ability to survive up there, and we'll hopefully return later to the class to see the result.
Thanks, Llun. Thanks, Gerald. Well, we're approaching 12 o'clock, and we'll be leaving you then for the news headlines. But before that, let's get the latest weather forecast. And we've seen the sunshine here today. There's a few grey clouds above at the moment, so it just goes to show how quickly the weather can change. So there seems to be quite a bit of rain approaching from the southwest. It's different northeast. There's a bit of sunshine up there with a few scattered showers as well. Tonight, the clouds will continue to come in from the southwest, and temperatures, as you can see, between 13 and 15 degrees centigrade. It's going to be drier in the southeast, and tomorrow it's going to be cloudy to start with. There's a risk of a few showers here or there, and as you can see, it's going to clear up in the Llanelwedd area later tomorrow afternoon, and the temperature tomorrow here will be about 18 degrees centigrade. We don't want to see any of that lightning that you've got as earrings. No, we can avoid that. Thank you very much. And Alice, of course, will be wandering around the showground, as she's got an opportunity to do so. And we will be leaving you now for a short while for the news headlines. But of course, we will be back later on.